Excuse me. Hi, Libra. My throat all of a sudden wants to like close up. That's a little weird. That's a weird feeling. Excuse me. Hold on. Okay. I think we cleared it up. That was weird. It was like I turned the camera on and boom. So maybe we need to, I say we, I'm a Libra rising, by the way. We need to work on opening our heart or throat chakra a little bit and saying things that feel like that needs to be said. You know, if you're holding yourself back right now and you're not saying the things that need to be said, there's probably some tension going on in your throat area. Whew. Yes, it is the 8th of March and we're doing this reading. Things have been a little tough, you guys. And I was determined to get everybody's readings out for March. So thank you for being patient. I haven't done readings in so long. And then like the second month that I decided to do them, it's like so late into it. But we are in the middle of a relocation emergency. The space that we were in turned out to be incredibly unsafe for us. So here we are. We're trying, the whole situation, we're trying to take it one day at a time. And I don't need this added stress in my life with everything else that I have going on health-wise. So we're just sort of in this limbo kind of space and area, and not really sure what's going to happen next, but here we are. So if you would like to help us financially, we had to get out of the old space so quickly that we got into an Airbnb and have depleted all of everything we'd saved. So if you'd like to help us out, there are a few links in the description box. Thank you very much. You can also, we appreciate anything, even if you just share it. That's, even if you can share our story, that's great. Our Love Equals Freedom hoodie is also available on wildloveparadise.com. That is also in the information or in the description box. So, and my readings, I have my calendar open this month. I'm still doing doing the readings is keeping me sane, you guys. If anything, you can also get 20% off readings using the code SPRING23. And you can go ahead and get that on my website. So yeah, we're in March. March is such a big month astrologically, huge, that I wanted to talk about the astrology for this month. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it every month, but we're definitely going to talk about it this month. Because it's just it's generational changing. This is a very big dip into the next generation, that we're going to be experiencing. So, the astrology, that's how I really feel right now, you guys. Ugh. The astrology portion, you can listen to it or watch it for your rising sign, specifically for your rising sign. It can also very much work for your sun sign too. Some of the themes really might correlate. And then the tarot portion, you can watch for your sun, moon, or rising. So let's just get into it. Yesterday, Saturn ingressed Pisces for the next 3 years, and Saturn is in your 6th house for the next 3 years. So this is going to be a really critical time in your development. In 3 years, when Saturn leaves the 6th house and crosses the horizon, your efforts to attain your goals begin to start bearing fruit. Everything that you've been working on since Saturn was in your 1st house, all the way up through 2026 when Saturn ingresses, and actually Saturn will ingress Pisces in 2025 briefly, and then Aries will ingress Aries, briefly, and then regress back to Pisces. So this is this is a time of preparation. Like, this is really a time to help get you prepared for when everything that you've been working for can finally start coming together. Pay attention to your physical health during this time. Learn to listen to your body. You may want to start looking into like even holistic health, like doing yoga is very good. Ayurveda is really wonderful to, like, just natural holistic parts, of healing, especially if you're, if it's a cold, like learn how to naturally soothe your symptoms and stuff like that. That might be really, really helpful. You could have some very heavy responsibility with your workload. You may find yourself having to work harder than you have been before. But what you do now to improve your life, or what you do now to push yourself forward, whatever it is that you're hustling through, because that's what it feels like some days, like sometimes I feel like I'm back in the hustle, but it's in a different kind of way. Like, I'm having to learn now that it's not really about me being in a hustle kind of mood. It's about me finding that even balance, because I'm a workaholic, y'all. Like, I am terrible at it. And this Saturn in Pisces is not going to allow me to be a workaholic, because my health extremely matters now. So I'm going to work because I love my job. I love what I do. I love working with you guys. I really want to be able to do readings on a regular basis again, but I'm not going to kill myself doing them. And so this example of me being late to get the readings done is just one of those examples where my Monday and Tuesday, and honestly the end of February, it was so important for me to listen to what my body was telling me to do. And Libra, that is going to be a loud and clear message for you for the next 3 years. Paying attention to how much you are pushing yourself to a breaking point is going to be a really, really big thing. So with Saturn in your 6th house, and the 6th house is one of the dark houses. And a lot of times when we're pushing ourselves to the breaking point with the 6th house, then the 12th house starts to break down our mental, right? And Pisces, Saturn in Pisces rules the 12th house. So we really, I've learned this 12th house, 6th house connection, because I actually have a 12th house north node, 6th house south node, but I've been learning that, like, ever since the cancer diagnosis, I've been learning that work-life balance, and it's hard. It's really difficult, especially when you're used to being who you are. So, listening to your body and not allowing yourself to break down, because the more your body is breaking down, the more your mental is going to break down. I hate being sick. I hate feeling sick. I go into deep depressions when I'm in bed longer than a week. Like, it's hard, right? And that's something I've had to learn to not do, and just, really spend some time with myself instead of beating myself up, loving myself, right? So that's going to be kind of like that Saturnian lesson that's going to be happening to us. The Virgo full moon actually ushered in Saturn in Pisces yesterday, and that happened in your 12th house, which was a very mental, like, I don't know about you guys, but Monday and Tuesday was mentally hard on me. Like, but I'm a Virgo also. Like, I have Virgo stellium, if you will, in my 12th house. And, so if you don't have any planets there, that Virgo full moon was still having a heyday. Like if it wasn't showing you what it is that you need to do to show up for yourself, like, that can be a hard breakdown sometimes. So I hope everybody's doing okay after that Virgo full moon. But really, like, it's teaching ourselves to ground ourselves in a big way. Mid-month, which it's going to be like in a few days, it'll be around the 14th, the 12th, 13th, and 14th. Jupiter and Chiron in the 7th house is asking you to heal relationship traumas. Jupiter is expanding this healing. So you may find yourself being extremely triggered by your closest relationship people. Could be if you're married, then your spouse, your significant other. I've already recognized, my partner and I are both Libra rising. So I've already recognized that healing point that we're going to be looking at probably deeply, a little bit deeper this month. And, you know, where all of that is stemming from. Like, I'm a 12th house sun. I'm going to overanalyze myself to death all the time. So I'm already seeing it. I'm seeing what it is. Like, because I'm so aware of what's happening, I can already see it sort of churning and what's going to be going on with that. But this is really going to help to expand upon what you truly want to see out of relationships. The thing with Chiron is, even though it's a wound, it's like the kind of wound that as you show up for yourself and as you get really honest with yourself when it comes to that wound, like mine is not feeling good enough or feeling like I'm a burden. That's what mine is. Mine is feeling like I'm a burden to everybody around me. And the more I heal that wound and the more I realize that I'm not a burden, people love me. Like, they want to help me. They want to be there for me. They want to take care of me if I need to be taken care of. The right people, at least. But, you know, so often we don't realize that those wounds, the more we heal them, the stronger we become. And it's, you know, it can take years for you to get to a place for you to see how, like, I can hindsight 2020 my life right now and be like, oh, wow, like that's, like that wounding really played out at this time in my life. And look how far I've come from there. Or look at what I was doing just, you know, really in that survival spot in that place. So just so many things that can be revealed during that Jupiter Chiron conjunction that's happening mid-month. You're probably already feeling it. The Aries new moon is also happening in the 7th house on the 21st. And this is really this is the astrological new year. Like, welcome to the new year. This is a time for us to start fresh, you know, spring cleaning, you know, like make your goals for the rest of the year. It's going to be a little bit tense. It's going to be a tense new moon. For some of us, it might feel like a full moon because a lot of us are still working on some endings so that we can have fresh new beginnings in different areas of our life. Pluto will be dipping his toe into Aquarius on the 23rd in your 5th house until June. And then again happening next year for 2 more decades. So if you have any kind of children, this will be the phase that you're entering. This phase that you're entering of your life will have a powerful effect on your children. So whatever's going on with you, you know, like I remind parents all the time that our children, yes, they came here to do this journey with us, but they still have individual journeys themselves. They have things that, you know, they were meant to experience certain things in this lifetime for their own growth and their own expansion. And I remind parents of that all the time. And so when I thought about this transit, I was like, oh my gosh, I have 2 adult boys. And then I have my little 9-year-old boy who will be 10 this year. He would want me to tell everybody that he's going to be 10 this year. It's a little Leo. And I think about that, and I think about that in context to my health, and I think about that in context to Saturn. And I can spiral myself into driving myself crazy. And that might be something that you do, obsessively thinking about your children, obsessively thinking about love affairs, obsessively thinking about, you know, like you trying to be creative and, you know, it's just like you can't find that muse. And like, this is the house of self-expression with Pluto going into it. And so really there are going to be parts of us that are completely, this is where the ego is born. This is where the ego derives. And we don't want to kill our ego. Our ego is a part of who we are. It's the I am. It's who we are. Okay. We're learning how to integrate parts of our ego that are the shadow, the things that we don't necessarily see. And that Pluto is going to be a very integral part of that for us, okay? So, and then we have 25th of March, we'll have Mars in Cancer in our 10th house after being in Gemini since August 2022. Wow. Careful of needing to prove yourself with any kind of authority figures. Passive aggressiveness is going to be really big. I'm a Mars in Cancer, you guys, and let me tell you, having your Mars in Cancer is not always fantastic. But for me, it's like I just want to wrap the entire, like I want to save the world. Like, I want to contain, like, give people homes that need homes. Like, I have this whole idea now that, like, I'm going to make sure that every single person who has cancer will be housed. Like, that's a thing. This video is going to be so much longer than everybody else's because I'm talking so much to you guys. I think I needed to vent. So here we are. We're going to use the Power of Surrender cards. See what it is that we are all surrendering. What is it that Libra is surrendering for March? Deep breaths. Here we go. Got one. Felt like there was another one that wanted to come out, but nope, we are good. Surrender resentments. Holding on to resentments only poisons you. Try to forgive others for their shortcomings and keep moving forward towards positive situations in your life. Yeah. Like, we could really honestly just be pissed off at everyone all the time. That's easy to do, especially with Mars in Cancer. Like, Cancer placements are really good at holding on to resentments. They can, I know many a Cancer placement that has really spoiled their life because they held on to resentments and couldn't find ways to forgive. But you guys, we all have shortcomings. Every single one of us. I'm really excited about the first card that came out. It's the Sun. And the 10 of Cups. And the Strength card. The Sun. And the 10 of Cups. And the Strength card. And I've been really feeling, you know, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that everything's just going to be fantastic and everything's going to work out perfectly exactly the way that you want it to work out. But I am going to say that I do feel like things are getting better. Like, I feel like there's a protection. Like, that's what it feels. I don't, it's weird. It's a very, like, I feel like you have a very protected future. Like, you have a very, like, things that are happening for you have been being worked on behind the scenes without your knowledge for a very long time. I know that sounds really silly in a third dimensional world. We have the Hierophant, and we have the Emperor, and then we have the Queen of Cups. So many major arcanas are here, and then where there aren't major arcanas, there are cups. So in a really, like, this is a very important time for you to listen to your intuition. This is a very important time to understand that the Sun is the healing energy, right? You could be dealing with a Leo. We have both Leo cards out. You could be dealing with an Aries or a Taurus as well, or even a water sign. But what the biggest thing that I'm feeling out of this is that from your own emotional intuition, you'll find a way out of this. The resilience that you've had. And, you know, with this strength card, it's like, you know how everybody talks about, or like a lot of the new age spirituality, like the law of attraction is like, all you have to do is change your mindset and everything falls into place, even though we all know that that doesn't actually work that way. Well, I've been contending with how reality changes with my mindset for many, many years, because it doesn't make sense. And then something will happen where I'm like, oh my God, I was just thinking that this was going to happen in our lives. And all of a sudden here it is. And I had no inclination that it was going to be happening, but I was thinking like, this is what I want. Right. And then it shows up. So it's very difficult right now for us to just spiritually bypass the fact that very real things happen that are uncomfortable and frustrating. And it's so bad that, you know, it's just tension and discomfort like all the time. So this feels very much like you are manifesting things from your feelings, from a mind shift, from not feeling so hot about some things, and then you're like, nope, I'm going to take control of this and I'm going to start listening to my intuition, and that's how I'm going to go forward. So let's clarify before I get too further into that kind of message or that kind of idea, but it really does. It really feels like there was some kind of mind shift with you after a time of tension and frustration and really feeling, you know, but we don't want to rush into things no matter what. But this does very much feel like you manifested yourself out of a difficult space, a space that was kind of toxic, a space that was a little bit frustrating, like not, you know, a space where you couldn't be your whole magical self. You know what I mean? So I'm getting the cards for everything because there's a lot of, I'm the time, it's already, wow, I looked at the clock, it was 22:22. Look at that balance. Okay. So we have the Knight of Swords. We'll talk about the bottom of the deck too. We have the Knight of Swords on the Sun. You cannot rush this. Like, I know your frustration a lot of times is coming from the fact that things have to happen in divine timing. I hate divine timing too. It's really, really annoying. But let me share a secret with you that I've learned. Divine timing turns into your timing when you allow yourself to drop into your heart space, when you listen to your heart coherence, when you listen to what your heart is saying, which is the Sun. That's our heart space, okay? Leo, right? Heart space, the Sun. When you drop into your heart space, things happen, you guys. The heart is a magical electrical organ in our body. Magical things happen. And divine timing turns into your timing when you trust and believe that that is true. We have the Magician on the 10 of Cups. Look how beautiful that is. You're manifesting your existence. You're the one that's bringing peace into your life. You're the one that's changing the narrative, right? You have all the tools. Could even have a Sagittarius, Virgo, or Gemini on your side helping you to do that. And then we have the 9 of Wands with the Strength card. And all you had to do with all that courage and all that resilience and all that fighting that you did for a long, long time, now all you got to do is surrender. The 9 of Wands is about being like, man, I've been through it. I've been through the battle. And I don't need to go through the battle anymore. I'm good. Good now, guys. Thanks. I'm good. The 2 of Wands on the Hierophant. Okay. Some of you have a decision that you need to make about a Taurus, or you need to make a spiritual path decision. Again, so right now, and this is something that I've been feeling for several weeks, we're all like on this one side of this water, this river, and there's a bridge to get to the other side, and we have to walk across the bridge to get there. But even if we walked across the bridge, we'd be met with fog. Like we don't even know what's on the other side of the bridge. We have no idea. We know that we're supposed to be on the other side, but we're all just sort of standing there, like looking at each other like, do we go? Do we not go? Do we wait? Do we stay? Do we this? Do we that? And that's what this feels like. And you got to know that the longer you stay in that vacillating state, that Two of Wands, I'm at a crossroads. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? The harder it is to make the decision, because you start thinking so much. And you start thinking about all the ways your life will be ruined if you take this path. Maybe your life is meant to be ruined a little bit. My life just got ruined a lot of bit, but I still have love and faith. That's what we're going on. Judgment and the Three of Cups on the Emperor. I feel like there's too many people at the party. I feel like some of this, you're in control of how other people view you. You may not be fully in control of how other people perceive you sometimes, but if you're not being the person that the words that you're saying are not embodied, they're not matching your actions. If you're not embodying the truth that you're saying, then it's not truth. They're just words and they're empty, right? So judgment with the Three of Cups, there's something that's going to happen that you have a little bit of control over. And I feel like it involves several people here. Usually the Three of Cups does not give me a third-party situation vibe, but for some reason, and it doesn't even have to be a third-party situation. It could be whatever is getting in the middle of your relationship. For some of you, you're the leader in a group, and it's time for you to be that leader. Okay? I don't know whose messages those were for. And then we have here, you could be dealing with a water sign. I feel like this is you, guys. I feel like Libra's a little bit intuitive and mushy and sitting in their feminine this month. They need to be. So you could also be dealing with an Aquarius energy. We have this star here. And that star is your purpose. And you're feeling your way to your purpose, Libra. Truly, truly, truly meant to be a very difficult time right now. And I think it's because we're all sort of getting relocated in a way so that we can be in our full power in the next stage of our journey. Like, I'm not sure exactly why bad things happen to good people. I don't know that. I don't have an answer to that. But I do know that this world is a balance. It's always, we're Libra risings, or we're Libra suns, we're Libra moons. And, that's what we're here for, is to help achieve a little bit of balance and a little bit of, structure. That's why Saturn rejoices in Libra, the structure of it all. Seven of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. Keep planting your seeds, Libra. Use that intuition to really listen to the directions you're supposed to be going in, and be honest with yourself, okay? I love you guys. Take care. Bye.